And then I was arrested and sentenced to death.
Which I can't imagine even that, but you're laughing. Okay.
This is Linn Thant, the ambassador of the National Unity Government of Myanmar, also known as the NUG, to the Czech Republic. The NUG claims to control over 50% of Myanmar's territory, and that's a claim that a lot of people take very seriously. But so far, no country has recognized the NUG as the rightful government of Myanmar. Hi everyone, I'm Fredo Rockwell, and in this video, I'm going to share a conversation I had with Ambassador Linn Thant during a recent visit to Prague. I got in touch with him because I wanted to know what his life was like as the ambassador of an unrecognized government. And he was kind enough to meet with me. What I discovered, the more I got to know him, is that he's just an extraordinary individual, and this became more and more apparent during our interview. So I'm going to show you selections from our conversation covering Linn Thant's personal life story, which is pretty amazing. And also, we're going to talk about the NUG, what it does, how it was formed, and what it's trying to do in the future. And then last of all, we're going to talk about an unexpected intersection between political revolution and coffee. Just a few bits of terminology before we get started. The country we're talking about is called both Myanmar and Burma. Both names have been in use for a very long time, but officially the country was known as Burma during the British colonial period and up until 1989, when the military government decided to switch to the other name for the country, Myanmar. Now, because it was the military regime that made this change, a lot of pro-democracy activists, like Linn Thant, prefer to use the word Burma. As far as I'm concerned, this is just a matter of personal choice, but I just wanted you to be aware and not get confused by the different terminology. So here we go. I met with him in his office in Prague, and here was our conversation.
Can you explain why you were arrested? Because I know this starts with the 8888.
Yes, right. I involved in the 888 Tetra 8 revolutions. It's, we call it democracy, In 1990, I was arrested and sentenced to death. I was in the death row in prison. I couldn't see the sun and the moon for 9 years. I was in the iron shackles for 7 years.
Iron shackles?
Yes.
You wore those for 7 years?
Yes. Of course.
I can't imagine. I mean, that must be very painful.
Yes, of course. Still now, I have some pains in my legs because of, many years I was in the, iron shackles. But I never gave up, All the time I was trying to be occupied. Got tortured a lot. I don't have teeth right now. These are fakes.
Okay.
It was broken. Also, this was broken. So I got a lot of, the physical painful, and then I got the, mental painful. But I never, accept the, mental torture. Always try to be, to get the mindfulness on my pain. And it means I didn't accept any, the, mental torture because I was aware of it. Because of meditation power. And 3 years later, they changed the death sentence to life sentence. It means a 20-year imprisonment. It was not easy. It was not easy, because it was very difficult to survive in the prison. Because if we couldn't survive, so we cannot do anything for my country. So that's why always, we try to be healthy and happy.
Because you're committed to doing what's right for your country.
Right. But I have the same imagination for the future.
Yeah.
So one day I must be free. I believe it. If I were not, be dead in the prisons, I must be free. That's why I must be healthy. Also trying to be, occupied. I'm doing the meditation every day. I'm, studying some languages.
Really? What language did you study?
Spanish, Japanese, and the French as well.
So you didn't learn English. Did you already know English?
Because, my grandparents are British,
Ah, right. Yeah, I did read this.
Yes. After I was released from prison, I did, something networking for my, our colleagues. I fled from Burma and to, Singapore and Thailand. 2011, I got the, I was awarded asylum here in Czech Republic. Still now, I'm stateless.
You're a stateless person?
Stateless person.
So you're here in Prague, in the Czech Republic, and a few years later, there's another military coup.
Yeah. Oh. Just wait a minute. Yeah, my minister is calling me.
Oh,
please.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
I forgot where we were. We were.
Sorry that
No, it's okay. When the foreign minister calls, you can take the call.
Briefly, I would like to explain about the NUG, National Unity Government, was formed in the 16 April 2021. It is under the instructions of the CRPH. You know the CRPH? Yes, the CRPH. This is the result of
the parliamentary group.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely,
okay.
yes, right. So CRPH, formed the NUG. NUG is, very inclusive.
Yes, because they're all the different
The groups,
Yeah.
we combine it. And also, I'm not the, the National League for Democracy Party member. No, I work as, the 88 generation students.
Yes, and there was a different group for
Different
this.
group, yes.
Okay. Yes, some people will think the National League for Democracy and the NUG are the same, but they're not.
But no, this is not. The NUG is a very, different, the backgrounds. In the NUG governments, we have the many different, the backgrounds and with different ethnicities and different political, stakeholders as well.
How did it come about that you became, can I call you the ambassador? Are you the ambassador?
Whatever you want, you can call me. That is whatever.
I'll call you the ambassador.
Yeah.
So how did you become an ambassador then? What was that like?
The first, NUG was formed in, April 2021. And then I was appointed as, the first, liaison officer to the Czech Republic. And I worked, not only for the Czech Republic, but also European countries. Mm-hmm. We need to get the recognition of our NUG government. And we need to get the, humanitarian crisis, assistance. So that's why I was appointed here in Czech Republic. Because most of the, former governments, the presidents and other ministers are my former, jailmates.
Are they?
Yes.
So you were in prison with
Yes.
the leadership,
Yes.
so they know you well.
Yes.
And there must be a real bond, a real camaraderie.
Yes.
Yeah. You're not recognized as an ambassador in the Czech Republic yet or in other countries. So what's life like for you?
Honestly, Czech government is, they are helping me a lot, support me a lot. They allow me to open, this office. They allow me to open a bank account. And for that bank account, this is our NUG central bank.
So the whole NUG's finances are done here in Prague.
Yeah.
I've read there's a special connection between the Czech Republic and Burma because of Václav Havel and Aung San Suu Kyi. Can you tell us about that?
They don't see each other in person, but they are very close to their hearts. And, Havel, he fully supported to the Aung San Suu Kyi and our movement, democracy and human rights movement.
When you're getting help from the Czech Republic, that's still carrying on from that tradition, do you think?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
This is a very good, because of the Havel, I'm getting, many helps from the, Czech government. My job scope is very simple. It is like an ambassador. Mm-hmm. I'm working for my government, trying to get, the international recognitions and also, humanitarian assistance from internationals. We don't get any international physical assistance.
So is that because of the lack of recognition, or is it more complicated?
So here I would like to say one of the poet, some poems. In our life, we need just only two things: the real enemies and the real friends.
Right. Okay.
So we know who are our real enemies, but still now we don't know who are our real friends yet.
Yeah.
I'm really sad. Why international communities are still hiding and sleeping? They just only issue the statements. It doesn't work. Our people, they don't want to get statements. We are, yelling out. We are suffering a lot. Burmese people say, all the day by day, we are yelling out. We are suffering a lot. Please help us. Please help us. But still now, the international community, they don't want to hear our voices.
Is it because the war in Ukraine is getting so much attention that people aren't noticing?
That is the Ukraine is directly threatened to their region, including European Union. But we, our government, stand with the Ukraine people and the Ukraine government.
It does seem to me there's an obvious difference between the way people are reacting to Ukraine than the way that they're reacting to what's happening in Burma. And as you say, Burma's farther away than Ukraine, but that must be very difficult for you. It must be frustrating.
Definitely, yes. I can say that, the 1% of, military, logistics, comparing with, Ukraine, we will finish in 6 months.
So if you could get 1% of what Ukraine is getting,
Yes.
you could finish the war
In 6 months. If we lose, Burma will be the North Korean. And if we win, Burma will be the South Korean.
So we can choose which Korea we
Yes.
want another one of.
Yes.
I'm struck by the fact that we're talking about horrible things that have happened to you, horrible things that are happening in Burma, but you're vibrant and smiling. You're about to burst into a smile now.
Because, the positive thinkings and positive, the smiling can make me positive life.
So what's your positive view of the situation?
All the time I'm working hard on it for my country. So I must win. We must win.
You must win.
Yes.
And if the West doesn't pay attention and you don't get the 1% of the weapons, can you still win?
Yes, of course. We are working, we are surviving by ourselves. We are getting, donations from our people.
Right, from the diaspora.
Many diasporas and, also, in Burma. Still now, so we are surviving, because of, our people are supporting us. The most important thing is, so international communities and international government, they should know about what is the real government of the Myanmar. What we are doing, what we are working on, what we respect, what we are working with them. So, and how we are and who we are. They should know it. They know it, but they are still, hiding their reality. They should know about their reality. They should know about the real situations of Burma.
Now, I've read that you're involved in coffee here. Is that correct?
Yes, right.
With Burmese coffee.
Yes.
Which is a brilliant coffee, what I had.
Yes.
Is this Burmese
This
coffee?
is my Burmese coffee. Try it.
Okay, so... Oh, we've let it go cold, but I can taste that. There's a fruitiness to it.
This is my coffee.
This is your coffee. Wow. Coffee Burma, Bagan. Oh, I've been to Bagan.
You've been to Bagan?
Yeah. Oh, and was Roberto special?
This is the Roberto Special. He is my teacher of the roasting.
So if anyone's interested in your coffee, and then this is from Burma?
Yes, of course.
From the mountains?
Yes.
Okay, so my coffee nerd, I don't know how much of this I'll put in the video, but the best coffee is Arabica and is grown in mountainous high altitude regions near the equator. And so Burma is one of those few places that has mountains, but it's also in the tropics.
Yes.
And so you get this magical combination where you can grow Arabica coffee. And that right away, it tastes, so there's some really expensive coffees I've had from New Guinea and places that this reminds me of. It's very fruity, almost, like a berry almost. It's really delicious. Okay.
So honestly, I'm selling the coffee.
Yeah.
The profits, I'm using that profits for my, revolution.
Wow, that's amazing.
My office work, and I survive only coffee selling. We don't have the salary. We don't have the, budget. So honestly, I don't have the budget. I don't have the, any salary. So I'm working on, my revolutions only through coffee. The more I sell out, the coffee, the more I can contribute to the, my revolution.
Politics and coffee are two of my favorite things.
Definitely, yes.
This is good.
This is 100% Arabica coffee. This is very nice coffee, very high quality coffee. We control everything very systematically, the quality and, the taste and aroma is very brilliant. The fast.
I could talk to you about this forever, but no one will watch that in the video. There's two specialists.
This is another story.
Yeah, I'll start a coffee channel.
Right.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I guess we should end here. I feel like I've really imposed on you because you're obviously really important and you do important things. And you were a political prisoner for 20 years, which still blows my mind. And you've suffered torture and horrible things that we can probably barely imagine. And yet you're here with us and smiling and helping the world. And
yes, this is, because I'm happy that, I'm contributing for my skill for my country, because I would like to save my people to get the peace, stability, and, tranquility, equality. That's why I'm working on it. So always, I'm thinking it, how can I contribute for my country, the people of Myanmar in need.
So that was our conversation. If you'd like to learn more about Linn Thant or the National Unity Government, please be sure to check out the links, which I will put in the video description and also in a pinned comment. And also, if you'd like to get some of that amazing coffee I was drinking, I'll leave a link to the Coffee Burma website as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.